Members of the Railway and Transportation Association and United Service Association protested at the Munich City Center during a nationwide strike. Airports, bus and train stations in Germany stopped on Monday. Europe's economy has caused millions of people to deteriorate at beginning of working week during one biggest walks for decades as economy reeled. 24-hour strikes called by Verdi Union Railway and Transportation Association Evg were the latest industrial action in industrial actions that hit the major European economies as higher food energy prices exceeded their living standards. The terminals were largely abandoned as airports, including both largest in Munich Frankfurt, in Germany. Suspended flights were cancelled by the railway operator Deutsche Bahn, sirens and whistling, stolen posters waved flags during protests. Airport Association AdV predicted that 380,000 airlines were affected. Only 1,200 flights for 160,000 passengers in Frankfurt were cancelled and the stranded passengers slept on the benches. The lack of city trains created a line for taxis. Employees are pressing for higher wages to blunt the effects of inflation in February. Germany, which is largely dependent on Russia for gas before the war in the Ukraine, is a major energy resources in recent months.He was particularly forced at higher prices while trying to. Permanent cost prints pushed central banks to a number of interest rates, but policymakers said it was too early to talk about a price-wage spiral. Verdi negotiates on behalf of approximately 2.5 million employees in the sector, including public transportation and airports in the sector, while Evg Deutsche Bahn and bus companies negotiate for approximately 230,000 employees. During the hours running up to the strike, both sides were dug into their heels. Union bosses said important wage increases were a survival issue for thousands of workers. Millions of passengers depending on buses and trains suffers from this extreme, exaggerated strike, one Deutsche Bahn spokesman said on Monday.Said. Verdi demands a wage increase of 10.5%, which sees that the pay has increased at least $500 per month, while Evg wants an increase of 12% or at least €650 per month. Passengers of the ground expressed both sympathy and unhappiness about the strike action. Passenger Lars Boehm: "Yes, that's right, but I've never been on a strike for my life, and I've been working for more than 40 years. At the same time they are always on strike about something in France," said. Sharp wage increases would squeeze financial chamber for maneuvering for Scholz government of chancellor and make fragile negotiations on federal budget in three-way coalition. Employers warn that higher wages for transportation workers will result in increasing wages and taxes to compensate for the difference. Finance Minister Christian Lindner focused on reducing the deficit after higher expenditures during a pandemic and energy crisis from the pro-business FDP. On Monday, a government spokesman expressed his confidence that politics should stay away from wage negotiations, and Interior Minister Nancy Faeser will find a solution this week.